What makes the Ethiopian Bible so powerful, and why it's feared? In the shadow of the world's most well-known Bibles, hidden from the spotlight yet bursting with immense spiritual power, lies the Ethiopian Bible, one of the oldest and most complete biblical texts known to humankind. Its pages offer not only ancient wisdom but also bold, unvarnished truths that have both comforted the soul and terrified the powerful for centuries. Yet, for many in the West, this Bible remains a mystery, locked away in secrecy, its sacred contents too dangerous, too revealing to be embraced widely. The Ethiopian Bible is more than a religious artifact. It is a testament to a faith that resisted colonial domination. It is a scripture that contains books banned in other Christian traditions. It preserves an ancient Christianity untainted by Western imperialism, offering messages that empower those who read it but send shockwaves through those who fear it. In this narrative, we will explore the highs and lows of the Ethiopian Bible, its powerful spiritual teachings, the reasons it has been feared for so long, and why it remains a beacon of hope for believers today. The unique heritage of the Ethiopian Bible. The Ethiopian Bible stands apart from other biblical traditions due to its rich history and unique composition. Dating back to the 4th century, it is one of the oldest Christian texts in existence, predating many Western biblical compilations. The Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church, which has preserved this sacred text for centuries, traces its roots to the Apostolic Age, claiming a direct lineage to the biblical figure of Philip the Evangelist. What sets the Ethiopian Bible apart is not just its age, but its content. It includes books that are considered apocryphal or pseudepigraphal in other Christian traditions. The Ethiopian canon consists of 81 books, compared to the 66 books found in most Protestant Bibles or the 73 in Catholic Bibles. This expanded canon includes texts such as the Book of Enoch, the Book of Jubilees, and the Cabernegast, each of which adds layers of spiritual depth and historical significance to the biblical narrative. The preservation of these texts within the Ethiopian tradition speaks to a broader, more inclusive understanding of divine revelation. It suggests that the Ethiopian Church recognized the spiritual value of these writings, even as other Christian traditions chose to exclude them from their official canons. This inclusivity has allowed the Ethiopian Bible to maintain a more comprehensive view of early Christian thought and practice, offering believers a window into aspects of faith that have been lost or diminished in other traditions. Moreover, the Ethiopian Bible is not merely a collection of ancient texts. It is a living document that continues to shape the spiritual, cultural, and even political life of Ethiopia. Its influence extends beyond the borders of Ethiopia, inspiring believers and scholars around the world who seek a deeper understanding of early Christianity and its diverse expressions. Key teachings that empower. The key teachings of the Ethiopian Bible resonate with a profound sense of spiritual empowerment, offering a unique perspective that has been largely excluded from Western traditions. Unlike conventional texts, the Ethiopian canon expands the believer's understanding of divine mysteries and celestial order, guiding them through cosmic battles and moral lessons. At the heart of these teachings are powerful narratives found in books like Enoch, Jubilees, and the Cabernegast, all of which provide a robust framework for navigating adversity, seeking justice, and standing firm in faith. These texts offer a comprehensive worldview that encompasses not only earthly affairs but also celestial realms, providing believers with a cosmic perspective on their spiritual journey. The Book of Enoch, a vision of divine justice. Among these texts, the Book of Enoch stands out as a profound and enigmatic scripture. It tells the story of Enoch, a righteous man so close to God that he did not experience death but was taken directly into the heavens. However, the true significance of this text lies in its vivid depiction of the Watchers, angels who descended to earth and violated divine law by engaging with human women. The resulting offspring, the Nephilim, were giants who corrupted and oppressed humanity, representing unchecked power and moral disobedience. This ancient tale serves not only as a record of cosmic rebellion, but also as a cautionary metaphor. The fall of the Watchers is a timeless lesson on the dangers of arrogance, pride, and the seductive lure of power. For Ethiopian Christians, It's a reminder that even beings of divine nature are vulnerable to corruption and that no individual or institution is immune to the consequences of moral failure. This teaching, powerful in its simplicity, reminds the faithful of the inevitability of divine justice and highlights the necessity of humility, calling believers to remain steadfast in their righteousness even when faced with overwhelming power and temptation. The Book of Enoch, with its themes of rebellion, judgment, and redemption, has historically been perceived as dangerous by political and religious authorities. Its challenge to authority, its portrayal of angels falling from grace, and its message of divine retribution against corruption pose a threat to those in power. This is why, for centuries, leaders sought to suppress such teachings, fearing that they would inspire rebellion and encourage the oppressed to rise up against unjust systems. Yet, for those seeking spiritual empowerment, Enoch's message is clear: righteousness will always triumph over corruption, no matter how entrenched the powers of evil may seem. The Book of Enoch also provides a unique cosmological perspective, describing heavenly realms and angelic hierarchies in great detail. This expanded view of the spiritual world offers believers a sense of cosmic context for their earthly struggles. It suggests that the battles they face on earth are reflections of larger, celestial conflicts, imbuing their daily lives with cosmic significance. This perspective can be profoundly empowering, as it elevates the believer's understanding of their role in a grand, divine narrative. Furthermore, the Book of Enoch's prophecies concerning the end times and the final judgment offer hope and reassurance to those facing oppression or injustice. The vivid descriptions of God's ultimate triumph over evil and the restoration of righteousness serve as a powerful source of comfort and motivation. Believers are encouraged to persevere in their faith, knowing that their sufferings are temporary and that divine justice will ultimately prevail. The Book of Jubilees, Divine Order in Time and History. Equally significant is the Book of Jubilees, a scripture that lays out a divine cosmic calendar, revealing the sacred cycles that govern the universe. It emphasizes that history is not a random sequence of events but follows a divinely orchestrated plan. This profound concept of time provides comfort and assurance to believers, teaching that even in moments of chaos, God's master plan remains unshaken. The Book of Jubilees conveys the idea that although evil may dominate temporarily, it is subject to the inevitable intervention of divine justice. For Ethiopian Christians, this assurance offers hope amid adversity, reinforcing the belief that the universe operates according to a higher order which no earthly power can control or disrupt. The Book of Jubilees presents a detailed account of biblical history, from creation to the Exodus, framed within a system of Jubilee cycles. Each Jubilee period, consisting of 49 years, is seen as a complete unit of sacred time. This structured view of history challenges linear, secular understandings of time and progress. It suggests that events unfold not by chance or human will alone, but in accordance with the divine timetable. This perspective on time and history has profound implications for believers facing oppression or injustice. It assures them that their sufferings are not random or meaningless, but part of a larger divine plan. The cyclical nature of Jubilees also implies that periods of hardship will inevitably give way to times of restoration and renewal. This can be a source of great hope and resilience for those enduring difficult circumstances. Moreover, the Book of Jubilees emphasizes the importance of observing sacred laws and rituals in alignment with these divine cycles. This teaching encourages believers to structure their lives in harmony with God's cosmic order, fostering a sense of purpose and divine connection in their daily activities. By aligning themselves with these sacred rhythms, believers can find meaning and direction even in the midst of chaotic or oppressive circumstances. The Book of Jubilees also provides a unique perspective on the covenant between God and Israel, extending this relationship back to creation itself. This expansive view of covenant history offers a sense of divine purpose and chosenness that can be deeply empowering for believers. It suggests that their faith is not merely a personal choice or cultural tradition, but a participation in an ancient, divinely ordained relationship. The Cabernegast, a divine heritage. The Cabernegast, perhaps the most iconic of these texts, further cements Ethiopia's spiritual heritage. This scripture narrates the legendary journey of the Queen of Sheba to visit King Solomon, resulting in the birth of Menelik, the first emperor of Ethiopia's Solomonic dynasty. It is not merely a historical record but a divine affirmation of Ethiopia's chosen status. Through the Cabernegast, the Ethiopian people trace their lineage directly to Solomon and the Ark of the Covenant, claiming a unique relationship with God's divine purpose. For centuries, the Cabernegast has been a source of strength and identity for the Ethiopian people in times of foreign invasion, colonization, and internal strife. This text has been a reminder of their divine heritage, offering both spiritual and national fortitude. It transcends the mere concept of earthly sovereignty, establishing a sacred legacy that defies political and military domination. By linking Ethiopia to the biblical lineage of Solomon, the Cabernegast provides a theological foundation for resistance against oppression, instilling pride and dignity in the face of adversity. The message of the Cabernegast is one of resilience and empowerment. It reassures the faithful that their spiritual heritage is far more powerful than any temporal force. This belief has fortified generations, encouraging them to uphold values of justice, wisdom, and faith even when faced with seemingly insurmountable challenges. In a world dominated by material power and exploitation, the Cabernegast offers a counter-narrative of divine purpose and cosmic justice, elevating the Ethiopian people's understanding of their place in the world. The Cabernegast's narrative of the Ark of the Covenant's transfer to Ethiopia is particularly significant. It suggests that Ethiopia, rather than Israel, became the true inheritor of God's covenant. This belief has profound implications for Ethiopian identity and spirituality. It positions Ethiopia as a new Zion, a chosen land with a divine mission. This sense of chosenness and divine purpose has been a powerful source of resilience and pride, especially during periods of foreign domination or internal strife. Furthermore, the Cabernegast presents a model of kingship based on wisdom, justice, and divine favor, as exemplified by Solomon. This ideal of righteous leadership has influenced Ethiopian political thought for centuries, providing a standard against which rulers are measured. It suggests that true authority comes not from military might or wealth, but from alignment with divine wisdom and justice. The text also emphasizes the importance of safeguarding sacred knowledge and artifacts. The story of how the Ark of the Covenant was brought to Ethiopia underscores the belief that divine treasures must be protected and preserved. This has inspired a deep reverence for tradition and sacred wisdom within Ethiopian culture, contributing to the preservation of ancient practices and texts that might otherwise have been lost. A threat to power, the subversive nature of divine truth. The Ethiopian Bible has long been recognized as a profound source of spiritual and cultural empowerment, providing those who embrace its teachings with strength, guidance, and a deep sense of divine justice. Yet, for those in positions of power, whether religious or political, this ancient text represents a potent threat. Throughout history, the Ethiopian Bible has been subject to suppression and exclusion, its teachings deemed too dangerous for widespread distribution. The Book of Enoch, challenging corrupt authority. One of the key reasons the Ethiopian Bible has been seen as a threat lies in its inclusion of the Book of Enoch. This text, with its vivid portrayal of the Watchers, angels who rebelled against divine law by engaging with human women, offers a potent allegory for the dangers of unchecked power and authority. The Watchers, once exalted and pure, forsook their divine mission for personal gain, leading to their downfall and the birth of the Nephilim, a race of giants who brought violence and corruption to the world. This narrative is not just a story of celestial rebellion. It serves as a metaphor for the destructive nature of authority when it becomes self-serving. For those in power, the Book of Enoch presents a challenging message. Even the highest figures, whether angels, kings, or leaders, are subject to moral accountability. The fall of the Watchers reveals that no position of power is immune to divine judgment, and this poses a direct challenge to the legitimacy of earthly authority. It suggests that all rulers, no matter how exalted, must adhere to the moral laws of justice and righteousness or face the inevitable consequences of their actions. This idea is particularly dangerous for those who seek to maintain control. The Book of Enoch encourages believers to question authority, to challenge corruption, and to recognize that no leader is beyond reproach. For centuries, religious institutions, especially in the West, found this message too subversive, fearing that it would embolden the oppressed to rise against corrupt systems of power. By excluding the Book of Enoch from the biblical canon, authorities sought to limit its influence, ensuring that its revolutionary ideas would not inspire rebellion among the masses. The Book of Enoch's detailed descriptions of heavenly realms and angelic hierarchies also posed a threat to established religious authorities. These vivid accounts of celestial realities challenged the monopoly that religious institutions claimed on spiritual knowledge. By providing believers with direct access to divine mysteries, the Book of Enoch undermined the role of priests and clergy as exclusive mediators of sacred wisdom. Moreover, the text's apocalyptic visions and prophecies of divine judgment could be interpreted as a call for radical social and political change. In times of oppression or injustice, these prophecies could inspire hope for divine intervention and the overthrow of corrupt systems. This revolutionary potential made the Book of Enoch particularly dangerous in the eyes of those who benefited from the status quo. The Book of Enoch's teachings on the origins of evil and the nature of sin also challenged conventional theological doctrines. Its account of fallen angels introducing sin and corruption to humanity offered a different perspective on the problem of evil, one that implicated celestial beings rather than placing the full burden of guilt on humans. This nuanced view of moral responsibility could be seen as undermining traditional teachings on sin and redemption, threatening the doctrinal authority of established churches. The Cabernegast, a challenge to colonial narratives. During the era of European colonialism, the Ethiopian Bible's teachings became even more threatening, especially through its inclusion of the Cabernegast. This revered text tells the story of the Queen of Sheba's visit to King Solomon, resulting in the birth of their son Menelik, who would become the first emperor of Ethiopia's Solomonic dynasty. By tracing their lineage back to Solomon and the Ark of the Covenant, the Cabernegast provided the Ethiopian people with a divine claim to their land and culture, affirming their status as a chosen nation under God's protection. This narrative was a direct threat to colonial powers, who sought to undermine the cultural and religious identities of the people they subjugated. The Cabernegast empowered Ethiopians to resist foreign domination, offering a powerful message of spiritual and national pride. It declared that Ethiopia was not merely a subject of earthly empires but a kingdom with a divine heritage, a nation chosen by God with a sacred mission that could not be erased by foreign powers. For colonial rulers, this sense of spiritual independence was a terrifying prospect, one that undermined their attempts to impose control. The Cabernegast's assertion of Ethiopia's divine election challenged the European colonial narrative of cultural and religious superiority. It presented an alternative history in which Africa, not Europe, was the true inheritor of biblical promises and divine favor. This inversion of the colonial worldview threatened the ideological foundations of imperial rule, which often justified itself through claims of bringing civilization and true religion to backward peoples. Furthermore, the Cabernegast's account of the Ark of the Covenant being brought to Ethiopia challenged the religious authority of both European Christianity and Judaism. By claiming possession of this most sacred biblical artifact, Ethiopia asserted its central role in salvation history. This claim undermined the spiritual prestige of European nations and churches, which had long positioned themselves as the primary guardians and interpreters of biblical tradition. The text's emphasis on the wisdom and diplomacy of the Queen of Sheba also presented a model of African leadership that contrasted sharply with colonial stereotypes of primitive tribal rule. It depicted African royalty as equal, if not superior, to the greatest biblical king, Solomon himself. This portrayal of African wisdom and statecraft challenged the racist assumptions that underpinned colonial rule. Moreover, the Cabernegast's blend of biblical narrative with indigenous African traditions created a unique theological and cultural synthesis. This demonstrated the ability of African cultures to engage with and transform biblical traditions, rather than simply receiving them passively from European missionaries. Such cultural creativity and independence posed a significant threat to the colonial project of cultural domination and assimilation. The Book of Jubilees, challenging colonial timelines. The Book of Jubilees, another unique text found in the Ethiopian Bible, also posed a significant challenge to Western colonialism. Often referred to as the Lesser Genesis, the Book of Jubilees outlines a sacred calendar that governs the cycles of the heavens and the earth, placing history within a divine framework. This text teaches that the events of history are not random or chaotic but follow a carefully orchestrated divine timeline. For colonial powers who sought to impose their own narratives of progress and modernization, this teaching was seen as an affront to their authority. Western colonialism often positioned itself as the bringer of order and progress to backward societies, justifying domination in the name of civilization. But the Book of Jubilees rejected this linear, mechanical view of history, offering instead a vision of time that was cyclical, sacred, and beyond the control of human rulers. This divine timeline, which placed God at the center of history, empowered believers to resist the imposition of colonial rule, reminding them that their lives were part of a larger cosmic story that could not be corrupted or controlled by earthly empires. The Book of Jubilees' alternative chronology challenged the Western academic and religious understanding of biblical history. By presenting a different timeline of events from creation to the Exodus, it undermined the authority of Western biblical scholarship, which had long claimed exclusive expertise in interpreting sacred history. This alternative chronology suggested that African traditions might preserve authentic ancient knowledge that had been lost or suppressed in European Christianity. Moreover, the text's emphasis on the cosmic significance of ritual observances and sacred laws provided a framework for resistance against colonial attempts to suppress indigenous religious practices. It reinforced the idea that maintaining traditional religious observances was not merely a matter of cultural preference, but a participation in divine order. This made it much more difficult for colonial authorities to dismiss or eradicate local religious practices in favor of European Christian norms. The Book of Jubilees also presented a more inclusive view of covenant history, extending God's relationship with humanity back to creation itself, rather than beginning with Abraham or Moses. This universalist perspective challenged the exclusivist claims of both European Christianity and colonial ideologies, suggesting that all peoples, not just Europeans, had a place in God's plan from the beginning of time. For the Ethiopian people, the Book of Jubilees was more than just a religious text, it was a symbol of resistance. It encouraged them to trust in God's ultimate plan for justice, to recognize that the forces of oppression were temporary, and to remain steadfast in their faith, knowing that divine intervention would eventually prevail. For Western powers, this teaching represented a direct challenge to their authority, as it empowered the colonized to resist not only physical domination but also the imposition of foreign ideas and values. Why it's empowering today: ancient wisdom for modern challenges. The Ethiopian Bible continues to serve as a profound source of empowerment, offering wisdom, hope, and guidance to believers navigating the complexities of modern life. Its timeless teachings resonate deeply, especially in a world where chaos, corruption, and injustice seem rampant. What makes the Ethiopian Bible particularly relevant and empowering today is its capacity to inspire resistance, affirm cultural identity, and present a forward-looking vision anchored in divine justice. In an era where trust in political, social, and religious institutions is frequently eroded, the Ethiopian Bible stands as a testament to resistance against corrupt power. It encourages believers to place their faith not in fallible human systems, but in the ultimate authority of God. The message embedded within its pages remains clear: earthly rulers may fail, but divine justice is unwavering. For those who feel disillusioned or oppressed, the Ethiopian Bible offers a pathway to resilience, urging them to stand firm in their faith and resist the forces that seek to undermine justice. One of the clearest illustrations of this theme is the story of the Watchers in the Book of Enoch. The tale of these rebellious angels, who defied divine law and brought ruin upon themselves, serves as a powerful metaphor for the dangers of unchecked authority in the modern context. This story reminds us that no institution, no matter how powerful, is beyond the reach of corruption. The Watcher's fall highlights the inevitable downfall of those who misuse power, offering a timeless lesson in accountability. In today's world, where corporate greed, political corruption, and abuse of power are rampant, the Book of Enoch's message remains profoundly relevant. It empowers individuals to stand up against injustice, reminding them that even the mightiest can fall when they violate moral principles. This teaching encourages whistleblowers, activists, and ordinary citizens to speak truth to power, knowing that their actions align with a higher, divine justice. Moreover, the Book of Enoch's vivid descriptions of cosmic justice provide hope and comfort to those suffering under oppressive systems. It assures believers that their struggles are seen and that ultimate justice will prevail, even if it is not immediately apparent. This perspective can be incredibly empowering for marginalized communities, victims of systemic injustice, or anyone facing seemingly insurmountable odds. The Book of Jubilees presents another empowering vision, challenging the modern emphasis on human control and progress. In a world where progress is often measured by material wealth and power, the sacred, cyclical time described in the Book of Jubilees offers a reassurance that the apparent chaos of the present is part of a divine plan that unfolds according to God's higher order. For those grappling with societal inequalities or exploitation, the Book of Jubilees provides a vision of hope, reminding them that the structures of oppression are temporary and divine justice will ultimately prevail. This perspective is particularly relevant in our fast-paced, technology-driven society, where the pressure to constantly progress and achieve can lead to burnout and a loss of meaning. The Book of Jubilees offers an alternative view, suggesting that true fulfillment comes not from ceaseless forward motion, but from aligning oneself with divine rhythms and purposes. This can be deeply empowering for individuals feeling lost or overwhelmed by the demands of modern life. Furthermore, the Book of Jubilees' emphasis on the sanctity of creation and the importance of maintaining harmony with natural cycles resonates strongly with contemporary environmental concerns. Its teachings can inspire a more sustainable and respectful approach to the natural world, empowering believers to become stewards of creation in an age of ecological crisis. Affirming identity and resistance. The Cabernegast further reinforces this message of resistance and empowerment, especially for the Ethiopian people and, by extension, for people of African descent worldwide. This sacred text, which traces Ethiopia's royal lineage to King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba, offers a narrative that instills pride and affirms a divine connection. During periods of foreign invasion and colonial rule, the Cabernegast served as a rallying cry for independence, reminding Ethiopians of their sacred mission and divine protection. Even today, this narrative resonates with those who resist oppression, encouraging them to see themselves as part of a divine plan that transcends earthly power. The Cabernegast affirmation of African wisdom, exemplified by the Queen of Sheba, challenges persistent stereotypes and racist ideologies. It presents a powerful counter-narrative to Eurocentric histories, empowering people of African descent to reclaim their heritage and assert their dignity in the face of ongoing discrimination and marginalization. Beyond its message of resistance, the Ethiopian Bible offers a deep sense of identity and cultural pride for those who have been marginalized or oppressed. It affirms their place within a sacred heritage, reminding them that their traditions, faith, and identity are not only valid but divinely ordained. For individuals of African descent, whether in Ethiopia or the diaspora, the Ethiopian Bible offers a spiritual lineage that predates colonialism, slavery, and other forms of cultural oppression. It provides a narrative of continuity and resilience, reaffirming that no external force can erase their cultural and spiritual identity. As people seek to reconnect with their roots and reclaim their heritage, the Ethiopian Bible offers a tangible link to the past, presenting a framework for understanding the present and the future through the lens of a rich spiritual tradition. Perhaps the most compelling reason the Ethiopian Bible remains empowering today is its hopeful vision for the future. Amidst the uncertainties, violence, and inequalities of the modern world, the Bible presents a roadmap for living a life grounded in faith, integrity, and resilience. Its teachings about the end of days, the restoration of God's kingdom, and the triumph of good over evil provide a powerful vision of hope. The prophecy in the book of Enoch, which foresees the judgment of the watchers, reminds believers that evil will not have the final word. In a world often dominated by news of corruption, violence, and injustice, this message offers comfort and motivation. It encourages believers to persist in doing good, even when it seems futile, knowing that ultimate justice is assured. The Book of Jubilees further reinforces this vision, presenting a cosmic timeline that unfolds according to God's plan. This divine order offers reassurance in moments of crisis, encouraging believers to trust in God's timing and resist the despair that often accompanies worldly struggles. The cyclical nature of time, as described in the Book of Jubilees, suggests that the difficulties of the present are part of a larger divine design and that they will eventually give way to justice and redemption. This perspective is particularly empowering in our age of instant gratification and short-term thinking. It encourages believers to take a longer view, to persist in faith and righteous action even when immediate results are not visible. This can be a powerful antidote to the cynicism and hopelessness that often characterize modern life. The Cabernegast also offers a forward-looking vision, affirming Ethiopia's place within the divine order and charging its people with upholding the values of justice, wisdom, and faith. This sense of responsibility is not confined to the past. It serves as a guide for the present and future, encouraging believers to carry forward the torch of faith and resilience even in the face of adversity. Moreover, the Ethiopian Bible's holistic worldview, which integrates spiritual realities with earthly existence, offers a comprehensive framework for understanding and navigating the complexities of modern life. In a world often characterized by fragmentation and specialization, this integrated perspective can be deeply empowering, helping believers to find coherence and meaning in their experiences. A source of wisdom for global challenges. The Ethiopian Bible's teachings also offer wisdom for addressing global challenges. Its emphasis on divine justice and the accountability of the powerful speaks to issues of economic inequality and political corruption. The Book of Enoch's warnings about environmental destruction caused by the Watchers and their offspring resonate with current ecological crises. The Cabernegast's model of wise and just leadership provides a standard against which to measure contemporary governance. Furthermore, the Ethiopian Bible's preservation of diverse traditions and its syncretic approach to spirituality offer a model for intercultural and interfaith dialogue in our increasingly globalized world. Its ability to integrate various spiritual and cultural streams without losing its core identity demonstrates the possibility of maintaining tradition while engaging with a changing world. In conclusion, the Ethiopian Bible remains a powerful source of empowerment in the modern era. Its teachings provide a message of resistance against corruption and oppression, affirm a deep sense of cultural pride and identity, and offer a hopeful vision for the future grounded in divine justice and cosmic order. The Ethiopian Bible equips believers with the tools they need to navigate an often unjust world, serving as a guiding light that points toward a future where righteousness prevails and divine justice is realized. The power and fear of truth. Conclusion. The Ethiopian Bible stands as a testament to the enduring power of truth, one that has for centuries both uplifted the oppressed and unsettled those who seek control. Its profound teachings on divine justice, cosmic order, and the indomitable spirit of human resilience continue to offer not just guidance but also a deep sense of empowerment to those who engage with its wisdom. For believers, it serves as a beacon of hope, a reminder that righteousness is not only possible but inevitable. The Ethiopian Bible's unique texts, the Book of Enoch, the Book of Jubilees, and the Cabernegast provide a comprehensive worldview that places current struggles within a cosmic context. This perspective offers comfort in times of distress, courage in the face of oppression, and a sense of purpose that transcends immediate circumstances. The Book of Enoch's vivid depiction of celestial rebellion and divine judgment reminds believers that no power, no matter how entrenched or seemingly invincible, is beyond the reach of God's justice. This message has proven particularly potent for those facing systemic injustice or oppression, offering hope that their sufferings are seen and will ultimately be addressed. The Book of Jubilees, with its sacred calendar and cyclical view of time, challenges the linear, progress-oriented narratives that often dominate modern thinking. It offers an alternative way of understanding history and human existence, one that is rooted in divine order rather than human achievement. This perspective can be profoundly liberating for those struggling with the relentless pace and often dehumanizing demands of contemporary life. The Cabernegast, with its affirmation of Ethiopia's divine heritage and sacred mission, continues to inspire pride and resilience. Its narrative of African wisdom and divine election challenges persistent racist ideologies and offers a powerful counter-narrative to Eurocentric histories. This text empowers not only Ethiopians but people of African descent worldwide to reclaim their spiritual and cultural heritage. Yet, for those who rely on systems of control, oppression, or unchecked power, this sacred text represents a dangerous threat, a vivid reminder that no empire, ruler, or institution stands beyond the reach of God's judgment. The Ethiopian Bible's teachings challenge the very foundations of unjust power structures, calling for accountability, justice, and the recognition of a higher, divine authority. The Book of Enoch's depiction of the fall of the Watchers serves as a warning to those who would abuse their power, reminding them that even celestial beings are subject to divine judgment when they transgress moral boundaries. This message poses a direct threat to corrupt leaders and institutions, as it encourages believers to question authority and stand firm against injustice. The Book of Jubilees' alternative chronology and sacred view of time challenge dominant narratives of history and progress. For those who seek to control populations through manipulating historical narratives or promoting a certain vision of progress, this text represents a subversive force that cannot be easily contained or co-opted. The Cabernegast's assertion of Ethiopia's divine election and its claim to possess the Ark of the Covenant challenge religious and political authorities that have long claimed exclusive access to divine favor. This text undermines colonial and neocolonial narratives that seek to position Western nations or institutions as the primary bearers of spiritual or cultural authority. Ultimately, the power of the Ethiopian Bible lies in its unwavering commitment to truth, and it is this very truth, unflinching and uncompromising, that has made it both feared and revered throughout history. It challenges the foundations of corrupt power and calls forth a vision of justice that transcends the temporal. In a world so often caught in the grip of fear and domination, the Ethiopian Bible offers a counter-narrative, one where truth prevails and justice, rooted in divine order, is the ultimate arbiter of all things. The Ethiopian Bible reminds us that true power does not lie in earthly authority, military might, or economic dominance, but in alignment with divine truth and justice. It offers a vision of human existence that is at once humbling and exalting, humbling in its reminder of human fallibility and the temporality of earthly power, exalting in its affirmation of humanity's capacity to participate in divine purposes. As we navigate the complexities and challenges of the modern world, the Ethiopian Bible stands as a testament to the enduring power of ancient wisdom. Its teachings continue to offer guidance, inspiration, and empowerment to those who engage with its profound truths. Whether as a source of spiritual nourishment, a tool for resistance against oppression, or a framework for understanding our place in the cosmic order, the Ethiopian Bible remains a powerful and relevant text for our times. In embracing the truths preserved in the Ethiopian Bible, we are called to a higher standard of living, one that recognizes our responsibility to seek justice, to stand firm in faith, and to align ourselves with divine purposes. It challenges us to look beyond the immediate concerns of our individual lives and to see ourselves as part of a greater cosmic drama, where every act of faith and righteousness contributes to the ultimate triumph of good over evil. As we face the uncertainties and challenges of our era, the Ethiopian Bible reminds us that we are not alone in our struggles. We are part of a long lineage of faithful witnesses, connected to a divine narrative that stretches back to the beginning of time and forward to the ultimate fulfillment of God's purposes. In this light, every act of courage, every stand for justice, and every expression of faith takes on cosmic significance. The Ethiopian Bible, with its unique texts and profound teachings, continues to shine as a beacon of truth and hope in our world. Its message of divine justice, cosmic order, and human dignity remains as relevant and empowering today as it has been for centuries. As we engage with its wisdom, may we find the courage to stand firm in faith, the strength to resist injustice, and the vision to work towards a world where truth and righteousness prevail.